Hi, this is Shanna Swinland on behalf of Expert Village, and today we're going to talk about, in our video series on how to make your own baby food, we're going to talk about how to make applesauce for your baby. Babies love applesauce, and you can also take this recipe, you can add pears to it, you could add berries to it. There's so many different varieties you can use, and this is just the basic way to get some applesauce for your baby. I have a really great tool, this apple core that I love to use. It's a little bit hard to use and might hurt your hand a little, so I usually use something to cover it up. But as you can see, completely cores the apple, cuts it open, so that makes it a little bit easier. Whoops. Got pieces flying everywhere. But now we have a cored apple, and then I'm going to peel the apple. Some people might like to keep the peel on, but it's pretty hard for babies to eat apple peel and grape peel and things like that. So in order to avoid any possible choking hazard, I go ahead and peel the apple completely. Okay, and then I just chop it up into small pieces. And you can use whatever kind of apples you like or your baby likes, a little bit tartar or a little bit sweeter. I like a little bit sweeter of an apple myself, so these are Fuji apples that I'm using. It doesn't have to be pretty because you're just going to puree it anyway. So we just get smallest chunks that we can. So now we're going to put the apples into the pot. And after we add them in, we add water to the pot. Again, we've got to cover the apples completely with water to get them boiling. My pot's a little bigger than my apples, so it's taking a minute. Okay, now you can see we have the apples completely covered in water. We just add them to the stove and get them boiling. We'll check on those in a few minutes. Okay, just came back to check on my apples. I think they've been boiling pretty well for a while. Now the first thing I do is I stick a fork in them and see if they're nice and tender for me to take off the stove. It looks like they are. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stove, take my apples off, and I'm actually going to use a strainer for this. Get all the apples out. And then add them to my food processor. Now I want to add a little bit of water. Apples are already pretty watery and we're making applesauce. We don't want it to be too thin. Although again, if it is too thin, you can always add some wonderful baby oatmeal that you've made to the food and it will turn out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get that mixed up.